All over the world, small groups of engineers and backyard inventors are searching for ways to get more speed out of human power. Once a year, they get together to compare notes and to compete in some pretty strange races. They call their machines human-powered vehicles, the bicycles of the future. And today, they're thinking about one thing only: speed.
My goal is to be the fastest woman in the world.
Well, we're going to win the ride race.
Hopefully, we're just going to blow right by them.
This year, everyone's trying to beat California's Vector team, holder of the world record at 62.9 miles per hour. Team Phoenix, a group of students from San Luis Obispo, California, has a fighting chance for the single rider record. Inside their streamlined shell is a tricycle. Its rider sits very low to the ground, which reduces the surface area of his body pushing against the air. That decreases wind resistance, increases speed. He pedals with his feet way out ahead of the front wheels, so a long chain has to run under his seat to power the rear wheel. It's a typical design for human-powered vehicles. Compared to a conventional 10-speed, the Phoenix is much more efficient, especially with its outer shell in place. Watch what happens when both riders get up to the same speed and stop pedaling. Phoenix leaves the 10-speed behind, in part because of its lower profile, but also because of the streamlined shape of its shell. Here's what the shell does. As the 10-speed moves down the track, the bulky shape of its rider pushes aside a lot of air. That leaves a vacuum behind him, an empty space which has to get filled up again. So the vacuum sucks the rider backward and slows him down. That vacuum isn't created by the Phoenix. Phoenix pushes aside air too, but then its sleek, streamlined shell guides the air smoothly back to the rear. Getting the Phoenix shell to this point took a lot of testing. By sticking on small pieces of yarn, the team could check whether air was flowing smoothly to the rear. When the yarn was trailing straight back, they knew the streamlined shell was a success. The streamlined Phoenix was itching for a victory. But Irvine, California's Redshift has a promising design, too. It all started with an idea about how to make a less wind-resistant vehicle. Remember how the Phoenix rider is low to the ground? Well, the chain running under his seat puts him 6 inches above the road. Redshift's designers figured out a way to eliminate that chain.
We've found a way to reduce the size, the volume taken up by a chain and transmission that normally have to ride underneath the rider to power the rear wheels. We power the front wheels in this vehicle, and as a result, we have to steer the rear wheel. It's sort of an exaggerated...
It sounds easy, but a computer simulation shows the bike will wobble back and forth.
Seems to be pretty difficult to hold an exact center line. It's very sensitive.
As long as you can keep the center line between the two front wheels, then we're doing pretty good.
Rear wheel steering has its price. It oversteers. But the Redshift team hopes the advantages of a lower shell will make up for that. Redshift is also trying something else new. All the vehicle parts are bolted directly onto the shell, not on an inner tricycle frame like other teams were using. Now, the shell itself has to support all the weight. To make it strong without being too heavy, Redshift uses a styrofoam and carbon fiber sandwich held together by epoxy resin. That's how missiles and airplanes are made nowadays, and it's a technique that team members learned in their jobs as aerospace engineers. The result? An ultralight, space-age material that's almost as strong as steel. The completed shell weighs only 75 pounds, lighter than the world champion Vector or the streamlined Phoenix. But why go to all this trouble?
But I see one day when people can be riding these things around, you know, to the store and back. That's what we're aiming for, to show that this technology can be applied to other things, not just the World Record Championship, which is our immediate goal.
The road race. Will the space-age Redshift win? Or the streamlined Phoenix? Or the old champion's Vector? After just 2 laps, Red Shift's rear wheel steering backfires and knocks it out of the race.
We're not planning on giving it up. We're planning to shoot for a fix.
There's no reason why it can't go 60 miles an hour other than the instability.
Red Shift isn't the only vehicle to have problems. A 2-wheeled yellow wedge called Easy Racer is doing okay, though, sitting right behind the leader, the streamlined Phoenix. The old champion, Vector, is in 3rd. "25 laps, 15 miles in just 3/4 of an hour. Speeds average 20 miles an hour, up to 40 on the straightaways. After 21 laps, the 2-wheeled Easy Racer is still in 2nd place, with streamlined Phoenix holding on to its lead.
We're doing real good right now. I think we have the race won.
But did the Phoenix captain speak too soon? By the next turn, Easy Racer has squeaked into the lead. At the finish, it's the 2-wheeled Easy Racer, and then Phoenix. But the Phoenix designer isn't disappointed.
We've spent 6 months now getting ready to race here, and now we've got a vehicle. It's real easy now to just go out and train and practice more and improve on our design.
The winning Easy Racer team is ecstatic, though.
Hey, Ray, for bicycles, 2 wheels make it better than 3 wheels.
Every time, every time.
But for sheer speed, 4 wheels and 5 riders may do even better. This mechanical monster uses more riders than any vehicle ever built before, and the MIT students who are making it expect to break 70 miles an hour in the straightaway speed trial. A 1,200-pound jumble of tubing, wheels, gears, and miles of chain, construction is so complicated that a week before the race, its builders are still working day and night.
Something always goes wrong. You always have to fix it. And a bike that we thought we could build in 1 summer ended up taking 2 years to build. But what we ended up with was, I think, top quality, so it was worth it.
At 44 feet and more than half a ton, the problem now is how to ship it out to California. The group is attempting a new record out on a runway in Massachusetts to convince sponsors to foot the bill.
I'll just take off. Yeah. Take way the hell off. Yeah. And then I'll stop at the end of the braking zone.
By now, they're calling it the New Wave. The airport runway is closed down for a few minutes. The record seems only a matter of time. The first attempt. Something goes wrong. It's a flat tire. A second attempt. The machine gets off to a quick, strong start, but something goes wrong again.
Are you all right?
Yep, fine.
Get out.
I think we were at about 50 miles an hour at the time, and we were slightly leaning to the right, and all of a sudden it dropped another 20 degrees.
A small outrigger wheel broke off. Now New Wave needs repairs and sponsors, but the team captain isn't ready to quit.
I want to pull 10 more all-nighters tonight. No, I guess we really want to go to California. I mean, the machine can take it. It's safe, I guess, even if it rolls over.
22 vehicles make it to the speed race, and New Wave is among them. An air freight company flew the machine for free.
We built new outriggers. So they're not the greatest, but they're the best we could build in the amount of time we had. So they're working fine right now.
No, you're all right.
Oh, guys.
Good luck.
New Wave is the most dazzling vehicle there, impressing even its own designers as it whizzes by.
Look at that, wow.
It is cruising.
Hear that sonic boom?
A chain carrying power from the 2 back riders falls off, but New Wave still reaches 48.9 miles an hour. Its designers are determined to come back again next year.
I still don't think we've seen our limit yet. I still think we haven't seen how fast our machine can go.
As expected, the day's top performer in the speed trial is the world champion Vector team.
It's early morning, October 3rd, 1982. Transportation history is being made. These scientists and backyard Leonardo da Vinci's are about to test the latest designs in human-powered vehicles. Some may look like bicycles, but they're born in a wind tunnel and have more in common with jet airplanes. Streamlining makes these the most efficient vehicles ever devised to carry a human being over the face of the earth. The competitions sponsored by the International Human-Powered Vehicle Association have unleashed a torrent of invention and clearly show that there's untapped potential in the joining of man and machine. One example, when Brian Allen pedaled the Gossamer Albatross across the English Channel, he caught the imagination of the world. That historic flight was the brainchild of Dr. Paul McCready. Dr. McCready, who is the international president of the IHPVA, is a staunch believer in the value of human-powered vehicles.
If you want to move somebody around at commuting speed, say 35 miles an hour or less, you can do it with 30 pounds of material and 1/6 of a horsepower. You don't need 3,000 pounds of material and 50 or 100 horsepower.
Streamlining of bicycles is not a new idea. At the turn of the century, bicycle racing was very popular and everyone wanted to go faster. Many approaches to raising top speeds by reducing wind resistance were tried. One way, called motorcycle pacing, became a popular attraction, but didn't last. Streamlining was still very experimental. In 1915, a patent was granted for a streamlined shell to cover a regular bicycle. Oscar Egg broke many existing records with his designs for streamlined bicycles, and in 1933, a Frenchman broke more records using his recumbent bicycle. All this activity had no effect on the bicycle industry, however, because the powerful International Cycling Federation refused to recognize any records achieved through streamlining. Progress stopped. Until 1974, that is, when two engineers in Southern California independently built streamlined bikes. World-class cyclist Ron Scarron rode one of these bikes to a new record, but again the Cycling Federation refused to recognize it. In frustration, the engineers founded the International Human-Powered Vehicle Association to sanction streamlined vehicle records. And suddenly, progress was in style again. Since 1975, through 8 championships, an ever-widening array of vehicles have turned out, setting records every year. In pursuit of speed, designers have tried everything, from the ridiculous to the awesome. Space-age materials, new rider positions, the best science can muster. The main event is the 200-meter dash from a flying start. Vehicles accelerate down the straightaway to their top speed and are timed through 200-meter traps. Muscles strain, sweat pours out. Technology gives way to supreme athletic effort. This worked. In 1980, a team called Vector set the pace as their single-rider tricycle reached almost 59 miles an hour. The two-man version of the Vector went 63 miles an hour. Those records remain unbroken. In 1982, a scrappy last-minute entry from England called Bluebell became the fastest HPV on 2 wheels, 51.919 miles an hour. In the velodrome races, HPVs really show their stuff. The Vector covers 4,000 meters, about 2.5 miles, in 4 minutes 5 seconds, almost a full minute better than the fastest unstreamlined bicycle. But speed is not the only advantage of HPVs. In crashes, the shell protects the rider from injury. Despite several crashes at high-speed velocities during past championships, no one has been seriously hurt at an IHPVA event. Now the world is taking notice. College students have discovered in HPVs the perfect class project. From MIT came this 5-rider rocket. And engineers at Northeastern University tried the cigar-on-wheels approach. No records yet, but these students are serious. And the news media have a field day. The visuals grab the eye, the speeds add thrills, and it's all rounded out with important implications of a newfound efficiency. No wonder sponsors clamor for space on these high-speed billboards. With the championships finding a new home at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the event has really arrived as an American tradition. At Indy, human-powered vehicle speeds will rival those of the first automobiles to race there. Here come new records and an even wider forum for innovative genius.
So the next start.
Moment of glory. You led the back 5 seconds. Excuse me.
Go! Come on, Stu! Come on, man! Let's go! Man, do the straights, man! Nail the straights, buddy! Come on, man!
This is history. The world's fastest self-propelled vehicle ride ever, nearly 70 miles an hour.
68.7.
For 2 weeks in September, a team of young engineers took its specially designed bicycle, the Cheetah, to Colorado. In run after run, they measured its speed, trying to break the world's record of 65.48 miles an hour. And finally, they did it, the culmination of years of work. The effort started in 1989 when John Garbarino, Kevin France, and James Osborne had just graduated from engineering school at the University of California, Berkeley.
It was a real good way for us to apply what we were learning in school.
They first set out to design a fairing, the canopy over the bike, that would provide the least amount of wind resistance. That meant hours at the computer formulating just the right shape. Then they looked to the aerospace industry for just the right materials for both the fairing and the bicycle mechanism inside.
Anything that would be used in a satellite or any of the new composite stealth bombers.
We use a lot of composite materials, which makes it extremely lightweight and strong.
They first tried for the record in 1990, but weather conditions were wrong, and they had to set the project aside so they could look for jobs and get on with their lives. This year, they came back to it, recruiting world-class professional bicycle racer Chris Huber to pedal the Cheetah. Huber's height, 6'3", was a critical factor. He fit the mechanism in a way that created maximum power. He trained for months on an oval track, getting ready for the moment when the record would be his. And he watched it on his speedometer as it happened.
As I saw it go through 67, I got really, really excited because I knew that I was going to be able to maintain that speed and not just maintain it, but build on it.
One of the designers says he and his partners have put together the best of all possible combinations, and he thinks it's unlikely anyone will ever go faster in a self-propelled vehicle.
You put all that technology and a world-class cyclist together, and the envelope of speed for mankind has come to a close. We've reached the limit.
But new designs sometimes give way to an old saying: records were made to be broken.